Good Monday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, it's a brand new day, it's a brand new week, which means it's a brand new opportunity for you to do something amazing, and it all begins today. Just as a note, I know many of you guys will be off because of the holiday. We will be right here with you guys Monday through Friday, giving you your news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your entertainment spotlight. Enjoy today's program. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Monday headlines. In national news, in Kenosha and beyond, guns become more common on U.S. streets. As Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted in 2 killings that he said were self-defense, armed civilians patrolled the streets near the Wisconsin courthouse with guns in plain view. In Georgia, testimony in the trial of Ahmaud Arbery's killers showed that armed patrols were commonplace in the neighborhood where Arbery, a 25-year-old man, was chased down by 3 white men and shot. The 2 proceedings sent startling new signals about the boundaries of self-defense as more guns emerged from homes amidst political and racial tensions and the advance of laws that ease permitting requirements and expand the allowable use of force. Across much of the nation, it has become increasingly acceptable for Americans to walk the streets with firearms, either carried openly or legally concealed. In places that still forbid such behavior, prohibitions on possessing guns in public could soon change if the U.S. Supreme Court strikes down a New York law. The new status quo for firearms outside the home was on prominent display last week in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The verdict arrived as many states are expanding self-defense laws and loosening the rules for carrying guns in public. Both gun sales and gun violence have been on the rise. At the same time, 6 more states this year removed requirements to get a permit to carry guns in public, the largest number in any single year, according to the Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence. In all, 30 states have enacted stand-your-ground laws which remove a requirement to retreat from confrontations before using deadly force. Gun rights activists seeking greater access to weapons and robust self-defense provisions argue that armed confrontations remain rare. In more national news, as Biden's big bill advances, so does Pelosi's big legacy. Deep into the grueling negotiations over President Joe Biden's big domestic policy package, when it seemed that bickering among Democrats would never stop, Speaker Nancy Pelosi let everyone in on a little secret. This, she confided quite publicly to reporters some time ago, is the fun part. The grind of legislating, treacherous for some, a sport for others, and often unsuccessful in the slow-moving Congress, is where Pelosi resides, exerting relentless drive to advance Biden's roughly $2 trillion package last Friday through the House, sending it now to the Senate. The House vote, with just 1 Democrat opposed, boosts momentum for Biden's signature legislation after months of start-stop negotiations and provides a down payment on the party's campaign promise to deliver competency in government and put it to work for Americans. And for Pelosi, who breezed into the House chamber early last Friday to gavel the vote closed after a nearly all-night session, the outcome serves as a career milestone and further cements her legacy as not only the nation's first female speaker, but among its most powerful, one who is working to secure massive federal investments that Biden and others have compared to Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal or Lyndon Johnson's Great Society. In more national news, U.S. climate pledge faced test in Senate with global impact. After talking the climate talk at UN negotiations in Scotland, the Biden administration now tests whether a divided United States can walk the climate walk, push a massive investment for a new era of clean energy through the narrowest of margins in the Senate. The House passed a roughly $2 trillion social policy and climate bill last Friday, including $555 billion for cleaner energy, although the legislation is almost certain to be changed by the Senate. What ultimately emerges in the climate part of the bill will have a lasting impact on America and all its neighbors on Earth and help determine whether the United States does its promised share to keep climate damage at a level not dangerously worse than it is now. In the Senate, cost-cutting demands by Democratic Senator Joe Manchin from the coal state of West Virginia and that chamber's strict rules seem certain to force significant changes to the bill that would prompt fresh disputes between party centrists and moderates that will likely take weeks to resolve. If Biden's package passes, its impact boosting clean energy sources and technologies will mean the U.S. likely will just miss by 5% Biden's target of halving fossil fuel emissions by the end of this decade. And finally, in entertainment news, Ghostbusters Afterlife captures $44 million in theaters. Busting ghosts is still a fairly lucrative business after almost 40 years. Heading into Thanksgiving weekend, the latest attempt to revive Ghostbusters drew a sizable crowd to theaters, while the awards darling King Richard, like most dramas in the pandemic era, is struggling. That made the top 5 movies over the weekend. Number 1, Ghostbusters Afterlife with $44 million. Number 2, Eternals with $11 million. Number 3, Clifford the Big Red Dog with $8 million. Number 4, King Richard with $6 million. And number 5, Dune with $3 million. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, it's all yours.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. A new attitude attracts like-minded people. When you make the decision to change your attitude, the universe and God sets into motion all the means necessary to make this happen. All of a sudden, the pieces of your life begin to fall into place. A sense of peace overcomes you because you no longer wonder if your dreams are possible. You know how to make them happen. This change in shift of your attitude opens up brand new possibilities for you to explore. Your focus becomes clear and you move forward with confidence. This positive shift in your attitude affects everything and everyone around you. Like a rush of water, it clears the debris from your path so you can move forward. Today, enjoy your new attitude as you attract other like-minded people. And enjoy your day.
We are part of my conversation coming up with Charles R. Smith Jr. and Edel Rodriguez in today's Entertainment Spotlight. You're listening to Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Charles R. Smith Jr. and Edel Rodriguez joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about their new book, Song for Jimi, the story of guitar legend Jimi Hendrix. Here's a bit of our conversation.
Charles, I want to start with you. As I said, people know the name Jimi Hendrix, but I don't think they've ever seen his story being brought to life this way. What has it been like for you to have this gift to be able to share with the rest of us?
Oh, it's awesome. Jimi is such a prolific icon. It was very interesting to learn how he got there and seeing the pain that he went through, all of the commitment that he put and effort that he put into learning this guitar, and some of the things that he went through in his life to become the musician that he ultimately became.
And Edel, for you, to be able to bring to light the story, of course, I was able to get an advanced reader's copy, and the artwork is just amazing. What was it like for you to be able to bring your own personality to this story when it comes to bringing it to life in pictures?
Well, I think when I first sort of found Jimi's music, I was in high school and then later in college. And, when I was making my paintings, studying in college, I would listen to his music while I worked. So, and at that time it influenced my work, my personal work, But here I also had the opportunity to make work while listening to his music, and to make work about him. And it was a wonderful responsibility to be able to translate his life onto paper and into this book.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll have you guys on tomorrow's more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.